This is going to be, hello everybody, first of all. This is going to be my response to um, a message I just, so this is going to be a response to a message I just heard from a pastor, evangelist. I'm not really sure. I'm Catholic. I've always been very eclectic with my style. I don't marry one music over the other or adopt a certain style and then I guess let the style basically drive my life. I like to take all the things I like and combine them in whatever I can. So the same thing with religion, because religion is not um, is flawed, and it takes away from its purpose. It takes away from the final goal. You know, like the goal of religion is to get closer to our creator, because there is a creator, and if you don't agree with that there's a creator, there's a problem with you. And the problem with you is that you probably are a creature of he she whom roams the world, namely Satan. So so that's okay too. I mean, that's I don't have, I'm not afraid of Satan. Satan has tried to take my soul. Satan has tried Satan tries to take everybody's soul. Satan in his um uh, uh, um what's that expression that más sabe el diablo que por no digo más sabe el diablo que por viejo. Nope, that's not how it goes. Okay, so take three. Más sabe el diablo que means that he knows more about life because of he's been there from the beginning. He's just always been like the challenging God on things, and there's just evil and questioning, and yes, it does have to do with logic and rationalizing and justifying actions that really should come naturally to people to um, to know whether it's wrong or not, without having to reason or have any kind of logic with it. So más sabe el diablo que por viejo que por diablo. That's how it goes. Um, and so he's gonna be around. He's around, and that's okay. I'm on God's side. Satan knows that very well. I mean, I haven't sat down with my demons yet, and I don't plan on it. I don't negotiate with terrorists. Why would I negotiate with demons? I mean, there's no point. There's just no point. So, and I am going to go a little bit back and forth between like the physical observed world and the supernatural world, because that's kind of where my mind is sometimes, is like people um if they have some kind of inclination to or interest to go in that direction, then they would know, okay, so there is some of what is intangible, and you can't necessarily touch, feel, or have senses for, but crosses your mind, and it could be palpable as far as dreams go. I mean, that's probably the cause of a lot of mental diseases, and it's bad. And I am a total proponent of education, because people need to know how to cultivate their own mind and cultivate it and strengthen it. After all, the brain is a muscle, and you have to use it and exercise it in the best way. So education all the way. That is my greatest cause. And education is not spoon feeding, and it's not forcing agendas, hidden agendas, to serve a particular social purpose. It's supposed to be education is supposed to be common sense. And I've been asked before, why would I who am I to use common sense, and why do I have to explain myself, and why does that? Because I believe in it in an innate being, like some, like in it, innate, you are born with the equipment, the hardwire, the with the capacities and capabilities to uh, to grow in the direction that, in my opinion, are designed to be. Because I think that everybody does have their own talents, everybody has their own strengths, and everybody has to find that. And everybody's going to find that when they are close to their creator. Our creator, in my religion, is our creator came to this world to, to teach us. So he gave us a lot of love. He showed us, like, at the end of the day, is you don't want to react and respond to people that are going to test you, because that's what some people are doing now, is they're testing and testing and pushing boundaries and pushing boundaries. And it's kind of a sort of it's confusing, because the people now that are testing and creating this confusion are the people that, you wouldn't expect. So it actually illustrates my point even more, is that people are going to create this facade, they're going to create this outward image, like, just to, so it's an appearance, right? Like, the visual effect, like, whatever I want you to believe. And so people don't have to study psychology to know that, um, to think psychologically. People automatically think, like, so, like, for example, the reason that the Democrats are being, like, complete idiots is like to, like, a normal person that hasn't experienced um the harm of being, kept in the dark, and being, kept, or oppressed, really. At the end of the day, I mean, that's the only word, is these Democrats are taking our money. They're taking, and I'm not rich, I can't, like, I wish I was, because then I would, if I could wield my power with dollars, that, and speak in the language of dirty Democrats that are trying to push their hidden agenda, that they don't want us to see, they don't even want us to understand, they don't want anybody else's opinion. They have already made their mind, they've made their decision on our behalf, without giving us the information we need. And let's be clear on what classified information might involve. Um, Classified information is for is for the sake of everybody's safety and security. At this point, classified information um is, like, totally, like, of course, like being put aside, because people that are in ground zero in Afghanistan know what's really happening. They know that, they think that the United States is a bunch of punks. um we are truly, like, living up to the reason everybody hates us already. And they just, like, shrug their shoulders and laugh. And it's going to get really scary for everybody, because, unfortunately, the tone at the highest level of office in our country right now is reinforcing that, we're a bunch of suckers. He's a person that likes to make the behind closed door sweet deals with people, and that's how he understands, like, dealing with people. So he's probably dealing with dirty Afghanistans, also known as the Taliban, and that's how he thinks he's going to accomplish things. And he actually wants to liken himself to Trump as, like, a business wheeler and dealer. And it's pathetic. It's pathetic, and it's insulting. And everybody should just feel sorry for Joe Biden. He's not. And let me just go ahead and talk about everybody that wants to create all these euphemisms for him and excuses. I wish that when shit hits the fan, that you're the person that has to pay for it and has to feel the load of it, because um it's nice to like be nice and sweet about things, like some Fox commentators. But when you are chosen to bear the brunt of other people's idiocracy, um, you might not feel the same way anymore, because you're precious princess up in some sort of like protected castle, and so it's okay for you to use these euphemisms and make excuses for people, but you don't really know what people that are at the bottom of the food chain might feel like. And believe me, I know all about attempts on my life, to be I'm sorry, steamrolled, what's it called, dragged out of my body, and been made like some sort of like voodoo doll, and then just like wanting to like shoot somebody in the head, but no, because I have a future ahead of me, of course, all those things. But honestly, like, I really don't think that anybody has gone through the um uh, the kind of abuse that you would only expect from a third world country. Thank you very much. My my parents are from Mexico, so it's hard to pinpoint exactly where, but you know what I mean. I know this country invested in me, and I'm grateful for it. But I'm also a fighter, and I'm also just born the way that I am. And if I was born here, then this is where I'm going to fight. And I'm grateful for the liberties I've had, and I'm not going to let anybody steal that from me, and make me think that I should fear anyone when I'm not doing anything wrong. But and so that's kind of how I've tackled it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I know what it feels like to be like a little Afghani girl, but because I'm Mexican, and like this whole cartel war thing, it's kind of, it's the same thing, really. I mean, you're dealing with people that are they are one upped at the end of the day, because um, the men in America have their own issues, but they always seem to want to, do the whole spin and the whole, they come out with the more, I guess, they put on a show. The show must go on. They do the little tap dance. At the end of the day, there's there's the military, they go do the dirty work, and then American men just keep tap dancing. And so there is a little bit of, I think, in different parts of the world, a sort of, well, wait a second, we mean what we say. We want to say something, and then we want to do it. um Again, our leadership right now is, and I'm just gonna, it is not at par. It's degrading, that office. And I'm gonna say that, I think that, it's important to support the people in leadership, and I've always thought so. And I've always thought, but they're the people that wake up every day and want to watch out for us. But at this point, thinking that way is really, it defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose of why we want to have that office be such a high position, and we need that chief, and because they're not setting the right tone. If you're not setting the right tone, you're defeating the purpose of why we should all come together to be the unified people that want, that are a sovereign, and think, and are the civil people that want to respect and honor a certain position, because the purpose of it is to send the message that at the end of the day is we're strong. It's not happening right now. Joe Biden figured out a way to, be an imposter. In other words, he's usurping the position of power that he has. Like, drilled it into his head that as long as he has some support of like some and anything and any crumbs out there, um, that's sufficient because he's elevated to the position, and so he's got into his head that it's people that make him, but not really. It's the person that wants to gain the trust of other people that can be in that position, not the person. So while it's important to always support that position, it would be more like if Joe if the president were to say, um, I'm gonna have to I'm not gonna set a day. I'm going to get everybody out now. War is imminent. I need everybody's support because we do need to end it. And it's not what he's doing. So a a uh, um a behavioral psychologist would say, sweetheart deals. He has there's things that we don't know. It's classified 3.2 trillion. 3.2. Wow, that's it? 3.2 trillion? That's all we're worth, Joe? Seriously? Jeez, I don't know. Throw in some, like, where's the cherry on top? IPA for me tonight. So, yeah, so don't keep up with the times. The reason that Trump was voted on, to the dismay and to the surprise of Democrats, including me, was because nobody wants the polished politician. People don't want the career. I know bureaucracy. I know who to talk to and whose hand I should be sticking my hand to grab the pussy. Actually, and you know what? I mean, Donald Trump only grabbed people's pussy that he didn't respect. And and that's, I guess, what I'm trying to say with that. I mean, okay, so that didn't earn. All right, I'm walking into something I don't want to get into, but um, he didn't he did it in a completely different arena. It was not. I mean, maybe Nancy would have liked for Trump to grab her by the pussy. I mean, that would have been. No, she's married. It's like it's been grabbed. It's like grabbed every day now. Okay, so all right. Okay, so yeah, let's please stop doing that because um we're trying really it looks more, it's going to start to look more like we're trying so hard not to be a third world country that doesn't honor their their government, and this office is the highest position, and that's why things go all berserk and anybody can just go in there and provoke a coup. And that's KOO, spell coup. So like, okay, yeah, so let's not do that. We're keep up with the times. Know that people game the system, and Joe is one of them. Joe is one of them. And I'm going to tell you the only reason, I'm going to be very flat out honest right now, as I always am. If if it's something that I feel like, well, if I had just said something, I wouldn't feel like I'm a part of this shit we're in now. But now, because I said something about it, you deal with it. I'm not gonna. I will fight Satan to death. I'm just waiting. I know, like when Jesus comes back, Jesus is already here. I mean, come on, let's be honest. I mean, he's just like, like I can't. I'm not going to speak for him, but seriously, I mean, I'm not really in a loving. state of mind right now, so I'm not gonna drag Jesus down with me, you know. So yeah, where was I? Okay, so okay, which one at the top? Um, so no fighting, and oh my God, I lost my track of thought, and then I just say something really weird, but I don't want to do that. So, um, okay, so oh yes, the honesty part. I'm not going to use bad words. I only use bad words when Jesus, when do I? Oh God, I'm not classy. I'm not classy. Let's just I'll just be upfront with everybody. And I don't want to be. Okay, so the only reason why anybody, and this is like wicked evil, I mean on Joseph Biden's behalf, is he purposely chose Kamala Harris so that everybody would be afraid to impeach him after like him, taking a dump on everybody and everything so that he can get rich. That's like this is his mentality. His mentality is, well, if I can control the world, um, I can get rich. It's really just that simple. I mean, he's in a position of power. There's nothing. There is no. He deals with creating laws that we're already born knowing about ourselves. We're innately already born knowing that there's a God, that we were created, we were designed in a very special and specific way that nobody could have nobody comes close to how we can't even explain it. We're not even at the point where we can explain it. But the scary part is that when people do try and explain it, it boils down to the counterfeit, like the counterfeiters that try and pretend like they're God. So it's really, I mean, it's so um, important. I mean, it's like crucial that people understand, like, you can't play God. You have to always, if you're not, if you're speaking for God and for Jesus and what his message is, and it has to be all positive. If I'm frustrated, it's because I don't see that promise. And that's kind of part of what Jesus's message was you're not going to see the same promise that I can give to you. All you have to do is believe that my promise is better than what this world might offer, and all the gaming and oppression, repression on top. I mean, oppression, repression. It's like obsession and all the negative thoughts, all gone, all gone. But you have to be willing and make an effort to follow in those footsteps and believe that that's what it is it's temporary and you can't fall into it. And that's exactly because uh, the the more people fall into that, the closer we get to our own destruction. And that's exactly what's happening, because not everybody is going to be a person that wants to listen to a greater something more outside of their immediate situation and circumstances. So it's really important to have really good leaders. It's really important. I mean, to me, I think that, I mean, I've always been this way. I've always been more like the, little girl, like fighting to get out the ghetto, thugs and whores trying to bury her 9 feet under. And it was easy for me to kind of like navigate through it as a kid, because I was a kid and I just thought like I don't care, I have all the time in the world. And then all the time in the world caught up to me. And in the meantime, it's like kind of dancing around, and it's like, okay, you're losers. I don't, I didn't choose the family I was born into. I didn't like, and I could make good company of you, but if you don't want to be good company, then screw you and see you later. Like, bye. It's not that hard. So yeah, so let's not kid ourselves. Don't do don't do like the whole like patronizing of an idiot that knows exactly what he's doing. He's and you know what, when you've been in meaningful relationships with somebody, and I'm not saying intimate or like there's a strong connection, no, I mean like life-changing relationship, like you have kids with somebody, like you are depending on, like somebody is trying to I guess paint you a part of their life, and it doesn't work out, and they try all these gimmicks and games and to, oh my god, believe me, like I couldn't sound the way that I sound now, like even 5 years, like it's a learn and it's a learning curve, a work in process. So I'm not here like trying to tell you, uh, you know, you should go through it before. And I'm like, and I'm big mama hen, and I can school you, but I'm saying you don't know better. Like you don't know life. You don't know scumbags. You haven't watched, videos where Joe Biden is saying that he prostitutes himself. He's not doing anything different now. He's prostituting himself. He's gonna get. He threatens people. It is a true master, a master, like he's a master manipulator. He's everything you want to call, you know let's be light about it. He's a scumbag. You be light about it, that's fine. Oh, he's just a master manipulator. Master manipulator. He's a fucking fucked up con artist that is trying to pull one over all of fucking United States. Okay? So, um, God, I love the way I sound when I'm so cool. I'm so cool. Uh, either way, he's totally trying to send out bribes to people. He's gonna do that. He's gonna use bribes instead. He's gonna use bribes that are gonna keep us in a vicious cycle with these fucking animals. Do you think that I'm gonna play a bribe game and a blackmail, or get into like the victim position and do blackmail, or like let some thug bribe me? I was 17 when I met this fucking idiot. I had to confront him. Do you know how fucking dangerous he is, especially with all the little fucking stupid whores he has around him that are trying to usurp me and are trying to confuse him to think that I'm one of them? I mean, my life has been fucking hell, knowing that this fucking animal trash is out there. This is in the United States, here, local, Los Angeles. So you can just fucking imagine I can imagine what other people are feeling in Afghanistan. It's the same thing, the same concept here. I mean, it's more like, you know what? Well, this is my fucking town. I was born in Santa Monica. I went to school here. I'm a fucking USC graduate. Okay, I fucking have my bachelor's degree from there. I'm not gonna let these fucking stupid little fucking punks and whores try and push me around. Okay, they're fucking useless idiots that are fucking lucky to have had me around in their life. Period. End of fucking story. Okay, and this is the same right and attitude that anybody in Afghanistan that wants to be a better version of themselves. Yes, I did learn a lot at my Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. that terminology, it's just like, oh my God, that's exactly yeah. Like they just took the fucking words right out of my mouth. So, okay. All right. So let's not do that again. I beg you again. And endorse people that, aren't going to do like those, like, uh, behind closed doors, sweetheart deals, and people like, what Kamala Harris was like, Planned Parenthood. Oh, there's like a whole like thing, a whole, got a disgrace, like a disgrace on her record with how she handled endorse her. I don't know. They gave her like some sort of like campaign funds, Planned Parenthood. I don't know, and I don't really. I don't commit trash to memory. Okay, it's trash. I don't really care. It starts to kind of like build an impression of the person in my head. Nothing to impress me. She's done everything she's done is like whorish. Like she's trying to brainwash kids. Like she's like, they're stupid. They're stupid. Hey, stupid. You don't know how to vote. Vote for me. Well, you're like, okay. And then kids do. And then kids do because they're like, okay, well, all right. Well, enough of that. Yeah, seriously, like you're being used, my friend. Kamala, I have something to tell you. You're being used. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, don't get used. Kids out there, I know this video is not for kids, but don't get used. Do not do it. Not even for like political gain. Don't, like, seriously, what could have possibly been going through her mind? Like, I'm just gonna whore it for now because one day I'm gonna save the world. Like Joe Biden, like they're both the same. Like they're like no, do what you can in your real life. Like that goes much further. These people are fucking power hungry. They're like fucking like trying to fucking line their pockets. Okay, that's it. That's all. There's nothing mysterious about it. They just know how to put on a good fucking show. They're like, they're fucking jaded. They're corrupted, collusive pieces of crap. Okay. All right. So I think that was everything. I did just want to read, I guess, one thing. This is not going to be Bible lottery. I was like so tired the other day, but I do want to read a was I done? Let's see, was I yeah. Vote smart, guys. That's all I'm trying to say. Vote smart. Be a better judge of character. Be a better judge of character. Don't let people pressure you. Same thing that we were taught not to do when we couldn't like join the cool kids at school. Like, don't be pressured. Like, don't be. But of course, I mean, you know what? One good person is worth everything. Like all the scumbags can eat my crap. But we're going to read Matthew 12, verse 22. No, we're not going to read that one. We're going to read. Okay, I'm going to speed read. We're going to start with verse 22. This is on the topic of Jesus and Beelzebul. So then they brought to him a demoniac who was blind and mute. He cured the mute person so that he could speak and see. All the crowd was astounded and said, "Could this perhaps be the son of David?" But when the Pharisees heard this, they said, "This man drives out demons only by the power of Beelzebul, the prince of demons." But he knew what they were thinking and said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself will be laid waste, and no town or house divided against itself will stand. And if Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then will his kingdom stand? And if I drove out demons by Beelzebul, by whom do your own people drive them out? Therefore, They will be your judges. So, like, I love that because that's like Jesus, like, telling them off. And he's using parables. He's not even like trying to be specific. Like, look, like, we both know what's going on, but since you want to be all like crafty and artistic, like, let me show you like true craft through truth and light. Okay, so, but if it is by the Spirit of God that I drive out demons, then the kingdom of God has come upon you. And that's when they all shriveled, like, and went and um, slithered right onto whatever hole they came from beneath rocks and everything. So that's what's going to happen to you guys, by the way, if you don't believe that. Yeah, it's up to you. So, how can anyone enter a strong man's house and steal his property unless he first ties up the strong man? Then he can plunder his house. Whoever is not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters. Therefore, I say to you, every sin and blasphemy. And I'll stop there because this is kind of important, and this is my favorite. Actually, it's one of the Bible quotes that I resort to the most in my own life because everybody thinks that Catholics or Christians need to be like, oh, he's like, oh, forgive me, oh, I forgive you, and it's not true. It's not that. That's not the way it is. But here I just wanted to point out is that is just such a like that is like right on the mark, like clarity, like let me tell you, fool. Like stop trying to be like all deceitful, twisting things around and making people doubt that there's something else is classified. Let me hide behind the veil of national security and etc. Right? People know about that. So um so don't hide behind the veil of national security. We need to know if we're in danger. And at this point, my instinct and just my behavioral observation of this administration is telling me that we are in grave danger if you're keeping up with the rest of the world. And if United States wants to be a prostitute to other countries because of the administration in power now, we who don't want to be a part of it need to inform the rest of the world that Biden's administration is going to see its last days. It's going to see its last days very soon. 2-3 years go by really fast. Hopefully he's impeached before it, but it comes to an end in this country at least. So don't don't make your bets too fast. So therefore I say to you, every sin and blasphemy. So this one is important too, but okay, so let me just backtrack. With that statement, unless he ties up a strong man. So I think that right here he's saying is you're trying to set up a sheep. You're trying to like set up sheep to um to just follow you and to willingly he and you know what, let's talk about the Holocaust. It's the same thing. People were enslaved, they were oppressed. These are the Jewish people, right? And so you get them to think that they're weak and doubt and always put their faith in people, not in God, in people. And I mean, I don't have a problem putting my trusting people. It has to be a person that cares to earn my trust to begin with, and that doesn't want and that isn't as insulting. I mean, it's I'm not gonna let Joe Biden pass his little senior card by me. Like, he's playing the senior card. He's playing everybody. He's gaming. He's game. He raised a crackhead. Sorry, Joe. As much as it inconveniences me to be the one that fucking say so, somebody has to say so. You raised a crackhead. You raised a really fucked up person. Okay, so that it's like and you know what? There's another Bible verse. You can tell by the fruit of the tree what the tree is like, but I don't really know what it is, but it's in here somewhere. Um, whoever. So after he says that, let me provide some clarity. Let me tell you. you can't, storm into somebody's house and take their things. If it's a strong man, you'd have to tie him up. But if you can get him to get weak, oh, you can take everything, right? So whoever, then he goes on to say, whoever is not with me is against me. Whoever doesn't understand that, like, look, this is not, there is no games in heaven, and in truth and in light and in clarity and with everything open. There is none of that game. Okay. So you're gonna not, you can't be, there's gonna be that friction there and that tension, and you can't be a part of it. So whoever's not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters. You're just gonna go your way. Fine. I'm not Jesus. Nobody should purport to be Jesus. Nobody should like try and save anybody. That's the most annoying thing. That was the most annoying thing in my life. When all the wrong people were trying to save me, it's like, shut the fuck up. What the fuck are you talking about saving me? Like, what? Jesus, you want me to show you? I'll show you. Like, there, a man came, his name was Jesus. He showed us. He's the person that we have to gather to. And I don't care what religion you choose, you just have to gather to him. So, and whoever speaks a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven. Oh wait, hang on. Okay, so therefore I say to you, every sin and blasphemy will be forgiven people, but blasphemy against the Spirit will not be forgiven. And whoever speaks a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven, but whoever speaks against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven, either in this age or in the age to come. So I love that, because then he just says, and you know what? Here's the other uh, the caveat to this deal. A caveat, it's more of an incentive, because the caveat is more, here's the warning: if you don't gather to me. And then the incentive is you don't have to forgive people that don't want you to be a good person and come to me and join me in my message of peace, tranquility, a love for others, love for yourself, a steady and stable progression of happy life. You don't have to forgive those people. You don't have to forgive people that try and block you and try and provoke you and test you and push you and oppress you. You don't have to forgive them. That's unforgivable. That's like something that you just have to, like, I don't want to be a part of anything with them. I mean, it could just be like you could just wash it away. Like, you're irrelevant. You're not forgivable, and you're not, and I don't want anything to do with you. If it isn't like a human, like a true human interaction, like what we were intended to interact with each other like, then don't do it. You're better than that. You're a person, and we don't have to have leadership in this, in lawmaking, leadership in this world that doesn't stand for that, and that wants to create um, a third world country by saying that this world sucks, or that this government sucks, that this world isn't oppressive enough for them. This world isn't oppressive enough for for some of the congresswomen that are basically newbies, that need to get like spanked in the butt or something by someone. I mean, who the hell, like why are they even there? I don't even know. I mean, they're trying to give me free stuff that I've already worked for. All I need is a job. I mean, I have the brain. I don't run my mouth at work. I mean, trust me. Duh. Okay, so either way, have a great night. I have to excuse myself now, but it was really nice chatting with you. And see.